You know what I'm a big fan of?
You like me trying to cover up the fact that I was blowing my nose by doing this little praying mantis move?
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Now, first of all, before you continue, I'd like to say that we still have a prop from the last video that we were filming.
Yeah, we do.
So I'm going to just remove that.
Oh.
And actually, you know what? It's going to sit in the middle. But anyway.
That's a little thought we put into these videos. Anyway. I don't actually know what this video is about. I started it.
That's probably why we should hit this music!
Movies, music, story times, all kinds of shit for you. Everything goes in its house and out from
You know what I'm a pretty big fan of? Doodles. Not related to the story, though. I like how you're dying.
Oh, man. Got a doodle down my throat.
Yeah, you do. Cheese doodle, that is.
Speaking of doodles, bananagrams.
Man, this is a vid. Anyway, in the last episode, we talked about how you used to wear your masks and be foolish around the town.
Yep.
Terrifying people and kids. It felt like that was going to keep going, but no, it just ended there. That was a full stop sentence. Anyway, it got me thinking about all the stupid shit we used to do. I figured we could talk about some of them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start with the one time that we were adventuring through the wilderness around here, and you had a machete, and you hit a massive log. You know what I'm talking about.
I still have this machete, by the way.
Yeah,
In fact, let me reach over here. This was the machete in question.
Yep.
This was my Jason machete.
Which is actually more rust than metal at this
but
point.
it gives it some life, you know. It gives it that little look. Anyway, this fucking machete, I took it out, you and me. We ventured out there. And there used to be this dilapidated old house on the other side of town. And, you know, every town has one where the people, there's rumors running rampant that, Satanists sacrifice here and ghosts.
Yes, you're right. And that house... One time I went in there. This is not related, but it is related in that house, in the sense that house is there. I went in there and there was like a little altar with cans all around it, forming this little runes around it, and a freaking dead dog in the middle, which is probably where those rumors came from.
Yeah, it definitely was a weird place, and there was a guy that used to live across the street from that place that I got in a fight with once.
Okay.
That was inclined to do your stereotypical bullshit like that.
Yeah.
And I suspect it was him because he was fucking lame. The reason we got in a fight is because he sucked.
All right.
That's it.
That's not the story though. It was just adding to the.
I just gotta actually let me tell you about that really quick because this fucking asshole had a friend who I was cool with, and if you know me in real life. Not here. I can joke pretty hard, you know, and people sometimes take offense to that. So people
even that know you sometimes get offended.
Yeah, and
many a brawl has happened.
Yeah, and people have a hard time with callous humor, and I'm perfectly fine with it because fuck it. but people have a hard time accepting it. Well, I got along with his friend that way, and he with me that way. Well, this little pseudo-Satanist fuck decides to take offense for his friend, which I gotta say is pretty fucking gay. But anyway, and not cool gay, just lame gay.
Yeah.
Not homosexual, just you're fucking gay asshole. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
anyway,
I don't think you have to clarify, but okay.
Apparently I do, because Hillary Duff is like, gay is not an insult. Thank you, Hillary.
All right.
I knew that shit.
Yep.
Anyway, this guy was gay. The point is, I was like, dude, seriously? We get along this way. You may get along with him by butt fucking each other, but I get along with him this way. And he was just like not hearing that. I didn't say it that way though, but he was just not hearing it. And he says, just punch me.
All right.
He just fucking punched me. And I'm like, what? What? So I said, do that again. And I gotta say, this was pretty cool. You know, considering I was a youngin'.
You was suck a doodle?
I was pretty young. I was still in school. And my reaction to a punch was, do that again. And he did, to his credit. And my glasses flew off. And then I was like, what the fuck, bitch? You just fucking punched my glasses off for real? I'm going to have to shed you. Anyway, this motherfucker, He fucking punches me. My glasses off. I see somebody get them though, so that's cool. And I go, what the fuck, in my head, and I march toward him, T-800 style or some shit.
Yeah.
And the fear comes across his face because he realizes, you know those dreams you have where you're punching and they don't, connect?
Oh, yeah, I'll bite. Sure.
That's like one of the most common dreams ever, where you're futilely punching at something. Anyway, this is what this fucking guy's face was reading as I marched toward him. And then the teacher stopped us all of a sudden. Cut to
Wait,
about...
this was at school?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cut to about a week later. He's by his locker. I walk by and I hawk a loogie on him because I'm apparently some 80s bully or some shit. And he runs after me and punches me a couple of times. I grab him in a headlock and I hold him there for about a good 10 minutes until a teacher comes out. They take us to the office. I go, yeah, this little fucking bitch punched me because I spat on him. So I guess we're both fucked. Which we were, and never saw him again. But anyway, that fucking guy was probably the guy that did that. Anyway,
The eerie house was the point.
back to the eerie house. We go to this eerie house, and there's this felled tree in front of it. And I decide in all my wisdom that I'm going to emulate some great white explorers of Africa, cutting through the...
Particularly, you were inspired by Congo because we had just seen Congo,
Yeah.
the shitty movie that is. Also, I like how the more I talk, you have to keep doing this because you committed to it. So I could keep going, but I won't.
The thing is, I wasn't really inspired by Congo the movie because it does
sucks.
fucking suck.
You'd read the book, yeah.
But yeah, I love Congo the book. So I was all in the Congo mood. So much so that we saw the fucking movie.
Yeah, and it sucked.
Knowing that it sucked.
Apparently this is an entire freaking language.
Oh man, yeah. Amy was not a good ape in the movie. Anyway, you know who was a good ape?
Bad ape?
Bad ape.
Yeah.
Bad ape. Anyway,
Eerie
got way off
Yeah,
track.
Eerie house, fouled log.
Eerie House, felled log. I'm in the Congo state of mind, and I'm like, hey, look, if you've seen a red Congo, the lost city in Africa is called Zinj.
Yep.
And I start narrating our exploration because this house is overrun with vegetation and and trees, dead trees, and this big ass felled tree in front of it.
Freaking Feldman's probably in there too.
Oh, he's in there. So I start narrating our excursion into the wilds.
And I'm fairly young at this point, so I'm like eating it up.
Yeah.
I'm laughing, which just encourages you to keep going.
Yeah. And then I start talking about having to cleave our way into the city of Sinj by cutting through this felled log. Which, by the way, in retrospect, what was my goal here? This log was humongous. I would have never cleaved through it entirely if I had sat there doing it for like a year. It was fucking huge, especially with this piece of shit.
You were also adding Zinj to everything. Like,
Yeah.
This is Zinj brush. This is a freaking Zinj road or whatever. You're breathing the Zinj air.
So I'm cutting through Zinj.
Yeah.
To the Sinj tree. Actually, I believe that was the line somewhere along the lines of, I'm going to cut through this Zinj tree.
Yep.
And I start hacking at this fucking tree. Now, this tree's been felled for quite a long time.
It's like dry.
It's dry, and unbeknownst to me, it's hollow inside now.
Yep.
Basically. I mean, it's still got some substance, but it's pretty hollow inside. So I actually break through a part of it, and the moment I break through, I hear a deadly, fucking almost Dolby Digital quality hum emanating from within the depths of the fucking tree.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And all of a sudden, the biggest horde of fucking bees you can imagine shoots into my freaking dome.
Yeah, it does.
And I scream like a girl and go, ah, Zinj bees!
Yep.
And I run
I
away.
like how in your panic you were still committed to the Zinj. Called roleplay, I guess.
It's all or nothing, man. So I run away screaming out Zinj bees as I hack at the bees in the air.
Meanwhile, I'm confused because I'm like, what the hell's wrong with it? Why are you doing this?
Oh, man. Needless to say, many a bee stung me.
Yeah.
And then they were probably not only pissed that I hacked into their home, but at them in the air. And that was actually, I think, the first year that I had shaved my head.
It was either shaved or really short.
Yeah. And they stung the fuck out of my head.
They targeted your freaking head.
Yeah, my head was... It looked like it had an afro because it was that inflamed from Zinj bee stings.
Yeah.
Anyway, I get stung so much in the head that I actually get high.
But wait, you gotta fill in the void here. You run away from the zinj tree, from the zinj bees. You run whilst hacking at them, and we end up in a canal. Because I at some point realized what was happening and also ran, but I ran super slow, and you know, that was the thing. So I end up getting there, and you're already freaking like high as shit.
I was just loopy. I loopy, man. Like if I took 17 Benadryls, this would have been the effect. I was like out of there. And yeah, I was just babbling and then somewhat incoherent. Anyway, we managed to go. The bees eventually leave me alone. By the way, they didn't attack you, or so it seemed.
Yeah.
They had just chased me, probably because I hacked into their beloved home. But eventually the bees go away, dissipate, and I decide we have to cross by that area again to get home.
Wait, there's more though. You probably don't remember this bit because you were high. But when I got to the canal area, I have to explain a little bit. There's a bridge that goes across the canal, and it has like these handrails on the side so you don't fall to your goddamn doom, right? When I finally get to the freaking canal area, you're on the freaking rail, balancing, trying to get to the other side. Instantly, I'm like, this freaking idiot's gonna fall to his doom because it's not a flat surface. It's like a handrail. It's like a tube. I'm like, oh god. And this was before cell phones, before anything like that. So we're like, ooh, this guy falls. He's dead.
I was so high that I was balancing on a fucking tube. Keep in mind, I'm a fucking 6 foot tall fat fuck balancing on a tube.
Apparently, these bees gave you insane balance.
It was like
made it across.
I was like a bee man, like the Spider-Man equivalent of bees.
Anyway, after that,
which is really lame, by the way. But
he's not good. He just buzzes and his ass falls off.
After my brush with death, we decide, hey, we have to cross. We have to go by the house again or by the dilapidated house to get to our house. So we decide the danger has passed, and we go by, and sure enough, the bees are still waiting. So we have to run away from them again.
Yeah.
And we get to the house, and I'm like, dude, this fucking bee thing, the stings have driven me over the wall. You know, I'm on the verge of hallucination apparently. And as I'm conversing with you, I notice that there's a sound in the room, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, do you hear bees still? And you're like, what? And I'm like, dude, I think we brought bees with us. And we look around, no bees. And then I realize that the sound is coming from your fucking head.
Yeah, it is.
Because you used to have, or you still do, really, underneath your
face shield,
your fucking pulpo face. You still have tons of hair.
Yeah.
And,
but it used to be really puffy.
Yeah, it used to be like a fucking fro you used to have.
Yeah.
And these bees had lodged in your hair, and they couldn't penetrate to your skull, which apparently is their target, but they were just stuck there.
Yeah, they were
so
stuck
we literally
on the
had to fish fucking bees out of your damned hair. So that was a cool thing.
that was kind of cool. That was the only time I liked my weird puffy hair.
Yeah, I mean, it saved you from walking on tubes.
To this day, I have not been stung by a bee. Despite that, I did get stung by a hornet, and that freaking stunk on the hand.
Where the hell was a hornet at?
Not a hornet, a wasp. I meant to say a wasp. It was actually in your room. I reached for a freaking pillow, and there was a freaking wasp hanging out there and shit. Stung my ass. My freaking hand was all hot and shit, oozing liquid. Stunk.
Old Stingy, I call him.
Yeah, he was your minion.
Old friend of mine.
Yeah. We used to have a bunch, or you used to have a bunch of freaking tarantulas in here. Surprisingly, we never got bit.
Yeah, that's true. When I first moved in here, there was, like, you could move a curtain, like, a millimeter, and fucking streams of tarantulas would pour all over the place. And they're always tiny, too.
Yeah.
But they were tarantulas, for damn sure. I don't know what happened to them. I guess they just decided, nah, you know what? Ain't gonna bunk with this guy.
Nope. They probably smelled me and were like, ooh, I'm out. So it seems we've hit a theme of insects and towns in this video. So I'm going to throw one last one in there. Unless you have another insect tale.
I do not.
And we share this one. So that's good. Again, another time we're trekking through Zinj. And we ended up at that canal again that you almost fell into. And we witnessed the most epic ant battle of all freaking time.
That's true. It was weird, man. Literally, like, what, a good...
It was a large area.
Big area. Easily over 30 feet.
Yeah.
All around us. Covered with fucking ants.
Like, the whole road was covered. Everything was covered. The trees were covered.
This is I don't know anything about ant behavior, and I sure as fuck ain't gonna research it.
Nope.
That goes out to you, Vic.
Yep.
But, the thing is, this must have been two colonies clashing for either territory, or maybe this is what I like to imagine in my head happened.
Yeah.
They were digging their little underground caves and shit, and they accidentally dug into each other's cave systems, and they were like, "What the hell are you doing here? This is the west side, homie." And the other dude was like, "Shit," and then boom, it started.
In my mind, it was always like a Middle Earth type of situation where a Dark Lord ant had risen and built his own little colony, and this was the last stand against him.
It was sure as hell big enough.
Yeah, it was.
If this ant war had been scaled to human size, it would be fucking like national or some shit.
Yeah.
It was fucking huge, man. I've never seen so many ants in my life.
The entire ground was
it was
covered.
ants.
It was black and red.
Ants, yeah, black and red. So it was like the Bloods versus somebody.
Ooh,
I don't know who the fuck.
Really driving this hood
I
battle.
want it to be a territorial
No,
thing.
I will say that it.
I wish the other ones were blue, so it could be the Bloods versus Crips, but it's not.
There is actually some evidence that supports your theory there, because
They had little bandanas and shit.
Oh no, there was drive-bys. Remember, there was these big ass black beetles that they were riding on. And I shit you not. There was ants on the beetles.
I don't know.
And they were just like trekking through.
They weren't beetles though. They were like fuzzy red. They looked like big ass tanks.
Yeah.
But they weren't beetle colored, or they didn't have the chitinous look of a beetle. Man, I finally got to use chitinous in a fucking sentence. Anyway, they didn't have that look. They were like fuzzy red mega ants, but not that ant-like. And yeah, there were little ants on top of them. And they were in the midst of battle, like little fucking tanks and shit.
Yeah.
Like Oleg High in Middle Earth.
Not only that, but there was air troops.
Yeah, there was flying ants.
In the trees, there was full of ants, ground ants, first of all. But there was also these flying ants that were like fighting in the air and shit.
Now, I don't know how ants work. But do flying ants exist in every type of ant? Are flying ants a completely different type?
Yeah, I always thought it was a different thing. But it seemed like they were taking sides.
If flying ants are a completely different thing, then there was 3 sides to this battle.
Yeah, and those big fuzzy things.
And those big fuzzy... Well, they were being used by the ants,
yeah, that's
apparently.
a good point.
The point is, it was ant mayhem up in that bitch. People were going... And the other one was like...
Yep.
They had long oozes.
Yeah, they did.
Carried it all day.
I'm
really going for turf war
it's
here.
not great. They were so preoccupied in their battle that we were just walking.
Yeah, they didn't even sting us. They didn't climb on us. Nothing.
We were literally just walking through the battle, witnessing. We probably killed a lot of freaking troops, but it was cool, so it didn't matter. We would just go in there and shit. They wouldn't climb on us. Nothing. We were literally in the midst of a battle. We were probably like titans to them. We should have picked a side. Like, you should have taken one side and I should have taken the other and battled.
Like this?
This is how we battled.
We just sumo battle naked in the middle of ants, and then they realize this sucks, and they all sting us simultaneously.
And we died.
Anyway.
That was cool.
So that was a fucking thing we saw.
Yeah.
So,
I don't really have any more
insect tales.
Yeah.
Insect tales. How do we go from a fucking fight to insects?
It just happened to, be in the town, I guess. This is part 1 of Town Tales.
Town Tales.
Which will never happen again.
Never gonna have a sequel.
Nope.
Anyway, this has been Ahab and the Goontick talking some crap. Makes no sense.
Nope.
Time to go use this machete. Hit like, share, subscribe. Those notification buttons. Click them. And we'll stick them. I don't know what that means. Anyway,
all right.
We're out.